Hello? Yeah, I just got here to the scene at Schmeeckle Reserve. Copy. Understood. We will figure out what had happened. Good evening. It's been a very dreary day here at Schmeeckle Reserve, but not just because of this weather. There has been a missing mouse report. Mr. Mousewitz was last seen at 10 o'clock last night, leaving the acorn plant, headed home to see his family and get some sleep because he had to go back to work the next day like everybody else. There are a few suspects we have in mind already. His next door neighbor, Mr. Maudillon, and Mr. Maudillon is very jealous of Mr. Mousewitz. He's already down at the station for questioning. But what we're going to do is retrace Mr. Mousewitz's steps all the way from the acorn plant to his house and see if we can figure out what happened. I did have some junior deputies go out and flag areas they thought looked suspicious, but they didn't know how to read them. That's what we're here for. Everyone here has been in quarantine, and I'm sure you might have watched some crime shows on Netflix. Good. I need all the experience I can get. Before we go, though, I want you to realize that Schmeeckle Reserve is full of animals just trying to live. They are trying to survive. They're trying to get to the next day, and they have to do what they have to do to get that done. As we go, I would like you to think about what or who happened to Mr. Mousewitz. Whoa! Feel free to come walk past and go back in line so you can hear what I'm saying, but feel free to examine. What could have caused those? Definitely pretty fresh. Who can tell me what types of tracks those are? Any guesses? Dog? It does look a lot like a dog print. I think it's something closely related to a dog, yeah?
Cat.
A cat. Cat? That would be a pretty big cat. Definitely related to a dog.
Oh.
Maybe
Coyote?
Fox.
a fox? That's our first suspect. Foxes, believe it or not, can eat a mouse. They also can pounce very high into the air. This is their signature hunting move. They'll stop, listen, pounce, and pin down. I do have an activity where I want to see how far a human can hop. And then I'll tell you how far the fox can hop.
Richard, you want to try?
And I also want to try it jumping this way as well as this way. Because believe it or not, they do both. And it's pretty impressive. So I have blue lines taped down here. They're a foot apart each. We could take turns. And I want to see how far can we hop.
You want me to do it?
Absolutely, go for it. All right, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet. About 5 feet.
That's 5.
4.5, 5. Woo! About 5 feet. Woo! 2 feet. Adults are welcome to hop too.
We'll hop her.
Ellie, you want to try?
Very good.
Not today? Okay, will you try this way with me though? Okay. No adults want to see how far they can jump. It's just like gym class. You don't miss that? You'll do it? Thank you. You're brave. Woo! 5 feet! So our red fox can jump a whole 6 feet 7 inches.
Wow.
So, further than any of the people who volunteered to jump today. Now, I want to see, I'll hold this out and I can keep my distance, and I'll need someone to keep an eye, but if anyone wants to come next to me and jump straight up and down to see how high, absolutely, come here. All right. Yeah, watch your feet. Did we see? One more time? About 10? You want to jump? About a foot?
About 8.
8? Thanks, Jess.
Yep, no problem.
Ella, can you hop like a bunny? I'll do it with you. No, not today.
Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Woo.
I've got a foot and a half.
Okay.
Anybody else? Just like gym class, it's a lot of fun. No? All right. Well, I'm going to raise up this stick, and once you think it's as high as the fox can jump, I just want you to tell me, stop, okay? And it's not going to be in unison. I expect to hear a lot of different stops.
Stop.
11 inches, not quite.
Stop.
1'7", not quite.
Stop.
2 feet 7 inches, not quite. Stop.
Stop.
3'8",
No.
not quite.
Wow.
It's like a
Stop. Wow.
4'8",
No.
still not there.
Stop.
5'4", as tall as me, still not there.
Wow.
What?
Stop.
And that is the closest we're gonna get. It's 1 inch short of 6 feet. That is how high a red fox can jump up into the air.
Wow.
That's impressive.
I'd be pretty scared if I was a little mouse.
Yeah.
That's not all foxes are good at doing. You can't tell quite, but they're very slender and skinny. That probably helps with their jumps. See how long those legs are in comparison to their body? And these ears, they're taxidermy. They usually look a little bigger. Speaking of their ears, they also have really good hearing. Unbelievable hearing.
Was that a real fox skin?
Once upon a time, yeah, it was a real fox. So, their hearing is incredible. They could hear a mouse squeak up to 100 feet away. One little mouse going, beep, 100 feet. So I have an activity with our human ears, because I want to test, as a detective, I'd like to know the answers. I want to test how good their ears actually are. So as humans, let's try it first, and then we'll try it second time, where you'll cup your ears and make them bigger as if they were fox ears. Okay, so I need everybody to turn around away from me, and I'm gonna say, baby fox, can you hear me? And if you hear me, you say yes, and I'll step back further, and we'll keep doing that till I don't hear anybody say yes. Okay? Everyone understand? Baby fox, can you hear me?
Yes.
Baby fox, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, turn around. This is as far as we made it. I will mark it and come back. And this time, we're gonna make our ears and act as if they're bigger. It makes them bigger surface area. It'll collect the sound a lot better. And you're gonna turn around and cup your ears backwards to hear me. Okay? Baby fox, can you hear me? I'd be scared of a fox, but this isn't quite enough evidence to convict him of what's going on. We do have some pedestrians, if we could all scoot to one side.
Oh, they're part of our program.
Oh, absolutely, welcome. How about the ones behind that?
Don't know.
We're gonna have pedestrians. So, I really don't know if we can exactly say that it was Mr. Fox, but I definitely know Mr. Fox was capable. As we continue walking, I want you to think about what senses animals have, prey or predator. What do they have to help them survive in this area? And we can let these lovely people pass first. But I want you to start thinking. Oh,
I found it!
you found a clue? Oh boy, another one! This one's not as fresh. Please come take a look and then go back on down into a line.
Those are bunnies, I think. Bunnies.
Do you smell something? Ugh.
They look like bunnies.
Oh, so smelly. Huh. Cool. Thank you. It looks like whatever it was, it has claws.
A skunk?
Yeah! Don't you smell that smell? Right, so a skunk. What senses do you think a skunk has to help survive?
Smell?
It does, it has smell.
But not really far smell.
It has pretty decent smell, and it's really smelly, but its own smell doesn't bother them at all.
It probably takes it as a nice heating or a nice smell for his house.
Right. Any other senses that skunks might have? Their hearing. They have wonderful hearing. Not as wonderful as the fox. Fox is pretty impressive, but their hearing really helps them survive in these parts. Their eyesight, however, is awful. Absolutely awful. Skunks can only see about 10 feet in front of them before it gets blurry. Is that called farsighted, nearsighted? Does anybody else have that problem where 10 feet away things start to get blurry? It's a pretty common thing, but it'd be pretty scary if you were out in the wild having to live like that. I do have an image of what our furry friend looks like. They're nothing big, probably the size of a cat. Very small to the ground. They have short legs compared to the fox. They can't run very fast, only about 10 miles per hour. But the skunk is still a predator to Mr. Mousewitz.
Yeah, because he can sway.
Right. They also are opportunistic, that's a word, eaters. They will eat whatever they can find. They will eat small mammals, berries, insects, grasses, whatever they feel like eating. And right now, I'm looking around and I'm not seeing many berries. Yes?
What about humans?
What?
What do they eat humans?
What do humans eat?
No, what
Skunks?
Yeah.
Skunks don't eat humans. Skunks don't spray a human, that's for sure. They can, however, they won't kill a human and eat us, but they can scratch us. And if you looked at that mark on the ground, these are some deathly weapons compared to their little body. They can dig, scratch, tear, do a whole bunch with this. And the skunk, I definitely think he was in this area. They absolutely love not having to make their own homes. They're kind of lazy. So all of these down trees and this brush would make a perfect little hideaway for our friend, the skunk. Going back to their poor eyesight and their hearing has to be really good. Really good.
Are they good as a fox?
Has anybody here ever played Marco Polo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want us to play a way different type of Marco Polo because it's COVID and we can't take people. But what we can do is play silent, COVID-friendly Marco Polo where I need one volunteer to be a skunk. Come on up. So what you're going to do is stand right here. And then I'm going to, not right now, but I'm going to ask you to close your eyes.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask people to move around, right? Forward, backward, sideways, wherever they want. And if you hear somebody, you have to point. And if you point at somebody, they're technically out. So if you're out, don't move and put your hands on your head and stay where you were. And then you have to wait 3 whole seconds before you can point again. And you need to have your eyes closed. You promise to close your eyes? Really tight. But you can't point if your hands are on them. I trust you. Does your hood go over? You'll figure it out. I trust you. Everybody understand those rules?
Yeah.
All right. So since he's a skunk, you could pretend to be a mouse or fox or bird, whatever creature you want. But the skunk has to be able to hear what's going on in its environment. Oh. You hear that quick snap at least? Yeah, I did. All right. You got a lot of us, that's for sure. Way to go. Do you have a question? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not that I found. They do have good hearing. Their best sense is actually touch. Really, they have really good touch, but their eyesight is nothing special. Their hearing they have to rely on it. I don't know how great it is. And their smell is pretty good too, but I personally read that they kind of smell themselves and that can distract them and think others are in the area. They get confused easy. They do, but their touch, their feeling of those really long claws, I don't know if there's nerves in them, but definitely in those toe pads that they have and what they caused here. Great question.
Right?
Yeah.
Do they make a good pet?
Do skunks make a good pet? They are actually very docile creatures, and you can get their stink sacks removed. But I do not recommend having any wild animal as a pet unless it is for rehabilitation purposes, and they can be used for a good purpose and have adequate space and habitat to live.
Nice.
Huh. So that's that. And the skunk, well, they're an omnivore, so they eat plants and animals. As we look for more clues, I really would like you to think, what our food eats? What do you eat, and what does that eat? Let's continue. You feel like calling the whole group? The whole
There's
group.
another one.
Oh! There is. Oh. Some
Looks like
claw marks. A feather.
Oh, it looks like a fighter. Or a killer. Some sort of.
Like a chicken.
That doesn't look like anything. Let's go over to the side. All the way to the side. It's like a beaver or something.
Did anybody think of something they eat and what that eats? Yes. Turkey? And what does a turkey eat?
Mice.
Bugs. Bugs. And what do bugs eat? Plants. All right. What other foods do we eat as humans? Nolan, did you have an idea?
Vulture?
You eat vultures.
No.
Oh. Yes?
Chicken?
We do eat chicken. Do you know what chickens eat?
Corn.
Corn. They eat. Bugs.
They eat what they're fed? Right. But it's mostly plant-based, right? Because corn's a plant.
But sometimes like I'll give my chicken
Okay.
crickets.
Right.
But in the
Yeah.
Them little worm nests.
Yeah. Huh. Chicken. Anybody? A birder? In this area?
Quail?
I don't think it's a quail. I think it's a inside of this bird, so it wouldn't be probably too distinct. No, I don't think it's a pheasant. It is a bird of prey. What I hear?
Owl.
Owl. Can my birder tell me what type of owl this is?
it's an owl.
A barred owl.
All right, it's a barred owl. Huh, this barred owl. I would believe there would be barred owls here in this area. All these high spots to perch, swoop down. Huh. What do owls eat?
Mice.
Mice. Small rodents. Right. And they eat a lot of them.
It's an owl.
It is an owl. Yes?
I'm guessing that he was a mace right here.
Yeah, right there? Yeah. And he lost his feather and clawed the ground and picked him right up. That's what my guess is too. You should become a detective. So an owl is pretty important to the world. Wouldn't you agree? Schmeeckle is absolutely full, well not full owls, but they have year-long residents. And the owls help keep control of certain populations. I'm sure we saw that nice visitor center we walked into and everything, and all those other buildings with wires. We really don't want mice in there ruining things. I also heard that there's farmers that try their hardest. Yeah, do you have a question?
Do they have good eyesight?
They do have good eyesight, and we are going to talk about that so soon, okay?
Wait on questions now after that.
That was awesome. That farmers will try to make the best habitat for owls to go and live in their barns to help control the mouse population to stay out of the feed. If we didn't have owls to help control and eat all this food, I don't know what this place would look like. Probably have mice everywhere. But yes, our suspect who left his feather is right in here. He was right in front. So yes, this is inside feather, by all means. It's the one I found. But this is a barred owl.
I don't know, I didn't see it.
Right, so these barred owls are really responsive. And if our suspect's still in the area, they might call back to us. We'd like to try to see if any owls will come. It might be too bright out, they are nocturnal. But would we like to try? So as long as you're distance and feel comfortable, you can pull down your mask and it's gonna be who cooks for you? Except Hootie. So, hoo 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 hoo! Hoo hoo hoo! Hoo hoo hoo! Hoo hoo hoo!
That was a good one.
All right.
Need owl?
We can put him back up. I'm not hearing any, and if we could watch out real quick.
Use us.
That's fine. You're no, you're fine. We absolutely love Schmeeckle, and so does everybody else who gets to use it. Speaking, what was your question about the owls?
We said, do they have good eyesight?
Do they have good eyesight?
Good eyesight. Yeah, they do. So, that's a softball. This softball represents our human eye if our eyes were the same proportion as what an owl's eyes are in their skull. An owl's eye, their skulls are yay big. Do not have one, they're very fragile, but I do have a softball. Our eyes would be the size of this softball if we had, in proportion, owl eyes. They have phenomenal eyesight. Owls also have grass.
Probably because they're big, right?
Right, because they're so big. They have all those special cones and rods to help see stuff.
Well, then it moves the eyes this way, up and down, and all over.
Yeah.
Because we have good eyesight.
They actually kind of keep them barrel locked like this. But what they can do is turn their head 270 degrees, so almost all the way around, and look at everything around them. But if you do this is more like how an owl's eyes are. They can't see nearly as well over here unless they whip their head, but they can turn their head almost 360 degrees around. Really good eyesight. Do you want to hear about their hearing?
Yeah.
All right, so where are our ears? On the sides of our head, huh? So that means I'm going to hear really well here, really well here. If you clapped in front or behind if he were behind or in front of me. An owl, if we put our fingers on our ears, an owl, take your right hand and move it up into the front an inch, and take your left hand and move it down and back an inch. That is where an owl's ear holes are. What benefits do you think there is to that?
Since they can move their heads around so much, it probably helps to have one low and one high.
Right, that makes sense to me. Any other ideas of benefits that would have? Triangulate their hearing? They can triangulate their hearing. So that means having this point and this point, if somebody clapped over here, down here, they would be able to whip their head to exactly where it is because they're off-centered asymmetric. Pretty interesting stuff. I'm still not sold though, that it was, I'm not seeing any mouse prints, you know? Maybe he got confused and saw something. I don't know if it is Mr. Owl. I do, however, want to get down to the station and question these suspects. As we continue walking, I want you to think about what motives any of these animals might have had against Mr. Mousewitz, as well as any animals we still have not talked about. Did we come up with any motives as to why somebody would hurt poor little Mr. Mousewitz?
Because
They're hungry.
Because they're very hungry and I don't really know if they care about Mr. Mouse.
They just want to eat, right? We're all just trying to get to another day. It makes sense to me, yeah?
It's the nature.
Right, it's the nature. We all got to do what we have to do to survive. Do you think of any other animals that might have done this or anything else that could have happened to him?
Maybe a spider.
Oh, a spider bite? Possibly. I wouldn't rule that out. Anything can happen out here in these woods. Yeah? Snake. Absolutely a snake. Could have scooped him right up, and finding a snake's tracks would be a lot harder than any of the tracks we found. Any other guesses, ideas, thoughts, comments? Yeah?
A rattlesnake.
Oh, I think we have timber rattlers here in Wisconsin. We definitely have garter snakes here in Schmeeckle Reserve. Right, so some snakes, hurt spider, a lot of things could have happened. What I need from you wonderful detectives is to pretend that you're not detectives anymore. And I need 4 volunteers who think that they can defend themselves against the eyes of the law. Yeah? Pretty good reading skills? Our adults will help us read?
Yeah.
All right.
So what are we trying to do?
So we want 1 for the whole family?
Sure.
Okay. Y'all gonna...
We're gonna all share, buddy. Hold on. Open it up, no one gets to read it.
2 more. All
So
right.
what are we trying to do?
All right. As I let you read your alibi, and everyone else, you will be getting to listen in on this interrogation. You're a fly on the wall. Once I feel that everybody's understood who they are, what they do. Flat tire, 66. Someone else will get them. All right. Is everybody feeling pretty comfortable? All right. We'll start over here. Who are you?
Barry,
Barry who?
the barred owl.
Barry the barred owl. What do you eat, Barry the barred owl?
Mice, squirrels, rabbits, birds, and frogs.
Aha, you do eat mice. When are you most active?
At night.
Exactly when our crime happened. I got my eyes on you, Barry. You're just fine. Wonderful trails. We love to see people use them. All right. Who's over here?
Stripes the skunk.
Stripes the skunk. What do you eat?
Insect, berries, birds, mice, eggs.
You eat mice?
Yeah.
And what time are you most active?
Night.
Exactly when this crime happened. Who do we have over here?
I don't. Neighbor mouse.
You're the neighbor mouse, Mr. Musdonald. Ooh.
He's not. I don't think he's gonna eat Mr. Mouse.
No. But why would he want to hurt Mr. Mousewitz?
Maybe to steal his food?
Right, he was jealous. I got my eyes on you.
Because if Mr. Mousewitz had a big acorn factory,
Yeah, Mr. Mousewitz had that big acorn factory. You are right. I got my eyes on you. Who are you?
I'm Freddie the fox.
Freddie the fox, what do you eat?
I eat berries, grasses, birds, mice, and rabbits.
Where do you live?
I live in wooded areas or prairies.
Oh, no one's making this easy on me. Huh. Stripes, what were you doing last night?
I don't know.
Can we have the adults help?
Doesn't have his reading glasses.
Oh,
Neither do I.
what was Stripes the skunk doing?
Alibi. Raised in entomophagy. Entomophagy.
Oh, so you were raised to only eat insects and berries. Why? Is it because eating fur is wrong? Your family raised you that way? I don't know if I'm buying it, but if that's your alibi, I'll believe it.
Yeah, that's his alibi.
Barry, where were you last night at 10 o'clock?
At home, my wing is broken, and I ate too much food. Wait, I have lost too much weight. I'm too weak to eat food. Unless a friend brings it over.
Well, you do look pretty slender and malnutrition. I hope your friends stop by soon. I know an owl isn't nearly as useful with a broken wing. Mr. Mouse Donaldwood, where were you last night?
In Marty's room playing games.
You were playing games? You were at home? Was somebody at home with you? Could they verify that story?
Oh yeah, we love to play games.
Okay.
They're definitely all playing games.
Okay, everybody was playing games. I'll buy it. You don't seem like you'd hurt a mouse. You are a mouse. Where were you last night?
I was out looking for a mate. I'm new to the area, and I wasn't even by the acorn plant. I was just hanging out by Lake Jonas over there. That's all.
You weren't even in the area.
No, nope.
We're gonna need to take him in for paw prints. We're gonna trouble check that one. Huh? I don't have enough evidence to convict anybody here. I want us to walk back, and I really want us to keep our eyes open, and I want us to think about how things aren't always as they seem, and I want us to just be on the lookout for anything we might have missed. Absolutely anything, because I really want to find Mr. Mousewitz. I can take those cards back.
You can be the one that dispenses.
Thank you.
Where's the shuttle bus?
All right. Really keep them killed. Mr. Mousewitz is very important. If the acorn plant disappeared, I don't know what'll happen.
Attributes to have.
Check your face. What's that? Over there.
Huh.
That's when I it's the window.
The storm must have ruined the tape that we had this morning. Can anybody tell me? Or who can tell me what this is?
A cage?
It is a cage. Yeah. A mouse trap. Right. This is a Sherman trap, or what's referred to as a small mammal trap. UWSP fire crew puts these out here in Schmeeckle, where we just were, the Burrard Oaks. We've been cutting and burning there and doing research to see what animals prefer the burned habitat versus the not burned habitat. Huh. Ah! We found Mr. Mousewitz! He's in there! He's in there!
Let me see.
We found him!
Let me see.
Wow!
Let me see.
Jump out!
Mr. Mousewitz! Oh my goodness!
Let me see again.
Mr. Mousewitz! We did it! Thank you to whoever pointed this out! Whoa, the UWSP fire crew really should keep a better eye on these and be checking them. Otherwise, this mouse report never would have happened.
Oh my God.
It's pretty wild to think. I'm sorry that none of those clues or suspects we found were our actual culprit. Turns out humans might actually be a top predator. We see them here in Schmeeckle all the time. Even though we are a top predator, just want to remind everybody that at the end of the day, we're all just trying to survive. So help everybody out. That's my program. I'm gonna walk back to that pavilion so you can follow me, not get lost. We can stop there and chat. Or if you have to get on your way, you're more than welcome to continue walking right out to the parking lot. And it's been such a joy to have you here. Thank you.